Alright gang, so here we are with the portrait, and I got some bad news for you. And the bad news is that the underlayer is no longer needed. I've gotten to the point now where the underlayer is just being in the way as far as for my laying down the medium. Now I haven't mentioned yet what the medium is I'm working with, and the medium is a charcoal right now. I might go into graphite towards the end, but right now it's just a charcoal medium. And most of the application of the charcoal medium has been done by a brush. There are some, you can see here, there are some hard lines for guidelines, but most of the application, that's why this picture right now looks kind of fuzzy, like it's not in focus. It's just because the tonal work that I've been doing for the portrait has all been applied by brush. Now the type of brush I'm using is just a synthetic brush, not a hair brush, not a Taklon or anything like that. It's just a synthetic fiber brush. And you can see this area here on John's tuxedo. I would just take my charcoal pencil, put down a layer of black, and then get a little bit of that on my brush. And then where I would want to add more tone, see if I can do this with the camera, and then I would gently apply it on there. Now this brush has kind of a big head to it, so getting into extreme fine detail is really not possible. But the nice thing about working with charcoal is that you can also, not only that you can lay down the black application of layers, but you can also reduce it too. And we'll do an example here. Say like on John's ear here, I get a little too dark, and now that's going to cause an issue later for me. But since I am working with charcoal and I'm not really putting in a lot of pressure into the charcoal itself, I can take this kneaded eraser here and I can lift it off pretty easily. So that's how I will be doing the contrasting of the light and darkness of the tone. John's come along pretty good here now. I was struggling with him for a while, but I think I got the shape pretty good here. The thing that I have to work on yet is his ear. And then for Nelly, I haven't really touched too much. I just been concentrating mostly on John, and then I just put some dark layers on Nelly just so I'm not losing my balance with the picture. The one thing that I have to work on is I'm going to have to study how the veil folds over itself, and work on, because since the black hair shows through the veil, it's going to not be pure white, but in some areas where it doubles up, it has a lighter tonal contrast to it. Now the one thing in the video that John showed on, excuse me while I'm taking something off my camera here, in the video, you might not have noticed it, but Nelly's hair was done in curls. You can see a lot of curl detail in the back of her hair, not too much in the front, but I wanted to kind of accentuate the fact that she did have her hair curled, so I might have a few rogued curl pieces of hair come out the front. So but that's really about all I can say right now for the work. Just want to mention that this is my second day in this week working on the portrait, and I'm happy to say that I am going to get rid of the underlayer. Say hello, John 2.0. So I just want to show you the comparisons to here and here, and basically what the comparisons are is showing you how dark of you can get with the tonal value of charcoal. So here is the Bulldog drawing with some really solid blacks. And you can see here I got a solid black outline on the drawing. Now one thing, when you're doing any kind of artwork, it doesn't hurt to do a certain amount of work to it and then take a break from it, work on another project. And then when you're working on another project, you can experiment with other techniques while you're doing to see if there's something that you want to try on your original piece, but you don't want to ruin it, because you know, once you do something, you can't take it away unless you start all over. So like if I wanted to see what the outcome would be if I went super dark with the black, then I can try it here without worrying about ruining the portrait wedding picture. So and this sketch here is actually turning out pretty good too. I've only had about roughly 20 minutes to work with the original source material, and I've been working with this drawing for probably about 3 to 4 hours now, since the reference material. So yeah, just wanted to follow up with this drawing as well, and just saying that it is good to take a break from one project, clear your mind of it, so that way you can come back to it. So you can come back to it all refreshed with a new perspective. So that is it. Alright, well, we are back from the Caribou Coffee Shop that I was at earlier recording the video, and so I thought I'd just get a view of the any background portrait so far. So what can I say in addition? Really not a whole lot. Get them in frame here, but I mean, I'm happy where I'm at right now with the amount of time I've spent on the project. It's been three total days worth of, no, there was 3 days in a Caribou and 1 day at a Potbellies that I had worked on the drawing here, and that's probably about, let's see, the first day was at Caribou, and I usually get there like around 7, so that'd be like 2, 4. So this is probably roughly about 7.5 hours worth of work. That's including the outline layer for the shadows and shapes that I'm no longer needing anymore. And there's General Splatton. Hi, General. But and there's Alice Cooper. Anyways, back to the portrait. Yeah, so not much more to say. I just gotta get into building up the layers, and like you've seen on John Point Tutorial, and how dark it can get. So I mean, like, this will be a very dark shade here. The feather will be a bright contrast. And again, like I said, the veil is something I'm gonna have to work on. And I can't tell, am I in the shadow? Guess I am. But I don't have lighting over here. All my lighting is over there from my painting booth. Back over here. So like I said, there's going to be different level of shades for the veil, the darker areas as with the hair, and then the overlapping layers that will have a lighter contrast for Nellie's veil. And of course, I mean, it like Nellie's hair is going to be really dark. It's going to be dark contrast. Same with the suit, the tux. So, and also John's hair is going to have a dark contrast too, because he has dark hair as well, with just a little bit of gray highlights on the bottom parts. So I don't know if I had that in frame, but just here and here a little bit. So, whoops. I have a messy studio, as you've seen before. And as far as for the shaded areas on Nellie's face, they seem dark right now, but as I progress working on Nellie's features, it'll be lighter. And again, this is all soft detail. The real fine detail isn't in there, because once I get to the fine detail, then it'll be the harder edge lines where either the charcoal or the graphite that I'm using won't be blended in to the picture. It'll be left untouched. That's the final stage, is when I get to the point where I'm applying. Let me get another sample. I'll be right back. Alright, so here's a sample of my hand, and where I did with this is not of I consider this to be a finished product now, because it's just in a sketchbook. It's it was a study. It was a study of my own hand. But you can see as we get closer here, we'll go into macro. In macro, you can see where I have rough lines in the piece, and they're not blended or anything. They're left untouched. That is when I get to the final stage of the project. And you can see here I got some highlights on the wrinkles of my hand, pretty close to, little variations. And there's John 2.0, and like I said, the solid black here for the eyes. This will probably be what will be for Nellie's eyes. That's how stark the darkness is going to be, and you can see, and then, like I said, you can see that the tones can vary quite easily. And then I guess I was still in macro mode, but you can see here on the piece that there's even some extreme thin white highlights on the tongue. And I guess that's one thing I gotta work on. Is I don't know if many people realize that this is the tongue of the bulldog sticking out. So think of this tone level here, the sharpness of the lines, and finish lines like this, and even you can see here, we'll go back into macro. You can see here where I have rough lines, even mixed with some white highlights for this flower. Now, the one thing I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for the project of the portrait is whether if I'm going to have a hard outline for John and Nellie. I haven't decided yet if I am going to do that for this piece. It's hard to say. So, anyways, just thought I'd follow up maybe on some of the stuff that I had shown in the noisy video of Caribou, and just kind of go over a bit of the techniques that I will most likely be applying to this drawing. So thanks for watching, and more to come.